Questions of Doom.
Hello and welcome back to another Questions of Doom. In this series, as ever, I attempt to answer questions that you send my way using the archaeosoup@gmail.com email address, as displayed on the YouTube channel homepage, but also as you'll see at the end of this video. In answering these questions by video, it is my fond hope that the answer is made useful not only to the person who has asked the question, but also anyone else out there who may be wondering the same thing or something similar. Now, today's question is a slightly controversial one, but I thought it was very interesting and pertinent, particularly given the shape of my head. Yes, you'll find out in a minute. The question goes like this. Dear Archaeosoup, I have a question about protective gear on archaeological excavations. I'm looking into where I want to dig this summer, and this question has haunted me since last season. Are hard hats really important? I mean, really? I mean, you don't often see people on Time Team wearing them, nor did Indiana Jones. If I'm given a hard hat to wear, I feel like a prat with a tall head. Can I decline? Keep up the good work. G. Hard Hat Hater, J. Well, GJ, I shall call you GJ. G.I. Joe. No, sorry. GJ. Yes, I can appreciate your loathing of the hard hat. I truly can. My head is not a head which suits having something put on top of it. If I have a hard hat put on top of my head, I look even more like a pineapple than I do at the moment. In fact, would you like to see proof? Would you like to see proof? Yes? Okay, fair enough. Here's some proof.
Oh no, it's the head that just keeps going.
So there you go. Me in a hard hat, not a good look, not a good look. However, what I would say is that it is not a vanity. The hard hat is there for a very real safety concern. In that instance, actually, I was walking through a very low ceiling tunnel, which was by no means actually originally designed to have people walk through it on a regular basis, and actually it had the floor level raised by concrete being installed at some point in the not too distant past. So it was genuinely actually quite dangerous to walk along without a hard hat. And I suppose that is the nub of my answer to this question, and that is that usually when you are offered a hard hat, you are offered it for a good reason. As you said here, when I'm given a hard hat to wear, I feel like a prat. Well, typically you'll be given a hard hat on an archaeological site because either there's a very real risk that something will fall on your head. So, for example, if you're digging in the wake of or just before a building project takes place, things may be building up around you, may fall on top of you. The hazard of, for example, swinging mattocks and the like in a relatively enclosed environment or small space, for example, on a brownfield site, that is in a city centre, may actually mean that there may be a very real hazard to your head. And sometimes actually it's just down to the practices of the individual units with whom you are digging. Sometimes they will, as a matter of course, insist on hard hat gear, just for insurance purposes, but also just for their own peace of mind. You're quite right. There are excavations quite often during the height of the summer out in a field somewhere, or out on a lovely plain, which don't necessarily always require hard hats, but then again that's often because the depth of the stratigraphy which is being excavated isn't all that deep. It's an open area and there's nothing that's overhanging, such as buildings or even actually trees, frankly, from which something may fall. It has been decided that a hard hat, it may not be the best thing in the world to give the excavators on the site. So I suppose all I can say in answer to your question is no, you can't decline. In some cases it's a very real legal requirement, for example on a building site in and around builders. In other cases it is a matter of practice for that unit, and they will have given you the hard hat because they want you to wear it, and if you don't wear it they'll probably ask you to leave the site. And in other cases still it is simply common sense. You don't want, for example, someone to be swinging a mattock over enthusiastically on their first day on site and accidentally cave your head in. So there you go. I'm sorry to say, GJ, hard hats are there for a good reason. They're a safety precaution, but also they are, I suppose, more than that. They preserve your life and your personality in your head. So that's a good reason to wear them, in my opinion. And along with that, there's other things which you may think are cumbersome. For example, steel-toed cat boots. Oh, I don't need those. I'm not a builder. Many people say. But again, it is down to very specific either legal requirements or just simply it's just common sense. I mean, as I say, spades are often sharp. Mattocks are most certainly dangerous when they're being swung. And if you slice your own foot off, then you won't be pleased, will you? So again, it's all about safety, and when it comes to that, I'm afraid we here at Archaeology Towers, as with most places, don't like to play the odds too much. But as I say, not all excavations require hard hats all the time. Sometimes in the early stages of an excavation, or as I say, when the excavation is not going to be going down too far, or when it's not being overlooked by something else, they won't necessarily be required. So if my advice to you, if you're truly convinced that that practishness is following wherever you go when you put this hat on, is to find an excavation which doesn't require a hard hat. Usually, when you're looking for such things, they'll give you a good idea of what they expect from you on site before you even arrive. Before you even arrange to pay to go or whatever else it is you're doing. They'll give you a list of what it is that they want from you and what you have to do when you go on site. So check that out, and if there's no hard hat required, go along and you will not feel quite so prattish. There you go. So thanks very much for asking nonetheless, GJ. It is a good question, and it's a question that I have often wondered myself when I've had to wear a hard hat. But yes, unfortunately it is there for a reason, and they are there for a reason, rather. So there you go. So thank you very much again for asking. If anyone else out there has a comment about hard hats and how hideous they are, or indeed, have you personalised your hard hat? Feel free to comment below and let GJ know that there may be an alternative to feeling like a prat. Yes. So until next time, guys, bye-bye.